Namaste Narasimhaya.
Singale Bhagavan ki jai, Bhakta Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Guru Premanandi, Hari 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 Bo.
Namo Mr. Paraya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutri Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namare Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Maracharina Nirvishesha Shunamari Paschartadishtarita.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Balamba Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Balamba Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Asatarasata Shishimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Ishtapat Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Asatarasata Shishimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Kuri Vaishnava Ki Jai Namacharya Nidas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sako Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavan Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shiva Namandam Ki Jai Mathura Ki Jai Navadidam Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Gangamai Ki Jai, Yamunamai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai, Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhaktavanda Ki Jai, Nitai Gura Premanandi, Hari 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 Bol, all glories to the Assembled devotees, Hare Krishna, all glories to the Assembled devotees, Hare Krishna, all glories to the Assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Namo Mishtaparaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutari Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namare Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Bracharina Nirvishesha Shrunavari Paschartarishtarine.
Hare Krishna, and immediately write Hare Krishna into the comment section. Don't hesitate for a single second, because even writing Hare Krishna purifies the consciousness and purifies the whole world. So let me see who's here today. Hare Krishna. Yvonne, Doris, Narasingh Rao, all the great acharyas. Red Willow Mataji, Oribol, David, of course Tony, Hare Krishna Tony, Mark Kunze, evening and morning. Mark Kunze comes in the morning and in the evening. Unbelievable. Ram Lakshman Prabhuji, this Saturday I want to see you. You gave a promise, you must come. Otherwise I'm gonna drink poison and die. We have Bhakta Charlie here again. Bhakta Charlie messaged me a few days ago. He was asking, is there a live stream? So I had to disappoint him because we're not streaming. So this is so nice that the devotees are eager to hear Srila Prabhupada's teachings. David, Tony, Mark, Ram Lakshman, Rajiv Das Prabhu, Hare Krishna also have been coming for a long time. I am not a great Gurudev, I am nothing. I am a big stool only. But thank you very much for your encouragement. And of course, the great Gurudev is Srila Prabhupada. So, sorry, I have to little dunk here to read your comments. Leena Mataji, Hare Krishna. And Sean, Hare Krishna to Sean also with Leena. Thank you for tagging. I could not see exactly the names, but I saw there were some very nice devotees who were tagging, and Leena was one of them. Very much appreciated. Expand the bliss. Let's expand our association of good friends and devotees. So if you tag people, then there's a higher chance that our association is going to expand. Rudra Prakash Prabhu, all glories to Jagannath Puri. Rudra Prakash sent me nice photographs. He's visiting Jagannath Puri. He saw the Haridas Thakur Samadhi and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's birthplace. So he is very fortunate. So all glories to Rudra Prakash, and we wish him very well in the holy Dhamma. Shamdai Mataji, also wonderful devotee, always here, always tagging, always asking nice questions. Thank you so much, Mataji Shamdai, for your association. Another great Mataji is Shyama Gori Mataji from Germany, also. I've been for a long time following our stream. Misha Williams, also very stalwart. And David also. He bought himself some coconut oil and he's feeling quite all right. Wonderful. Christopher, yes, also a longtime friend of Bliss. Supported us many times with kind donations. So wonderful to have you here, Christopher. Bikram Ser, Hare Krishna. Bhakta Charlie is getting initiated. Wow, amazing. Okay, very nice. The real initiation is through Vani, of course. So as long as you follow Srila Prabhupada, you were initiated by the greatest spiritual master. Michelle M. Sorry, I can't read your name so nicely. Melite. Michelle also has been supporting us for a long time. Thank you so much, Michelle. We have 23 viewers. Just see if everybody is tagging, if everybody is very eagerly wishing to expand the bliss, immediately we have 23 viewers. Doesn't take much, does it? All right, so today we continue our classes, our discussion on the 8th chapter of Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad-Gita as it is. Okay, Michelle. 8th chapter, text 17. 8:17. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 And of course, Mo Prabhu. He has come personally. That is extra tapasya. Okay, so let's try the shloka. Sahasra yuga paryantam.
Sahasra Yuga Parantam.
Aharyat brahmano viduhu. Ratrim yuga sahasrantam. Tehoratra vido janaha. Wanna try? But take the mic so the others, they can also hear. There's nothing you have to do on the mic, it's working.
Sahasra Yuga Parayantam.
Sahasra yuga paryantam.
Ahayat Brahmano Vidhu.
Aharyat brahmano vidu.
Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam.
Ratrim yuga sahasrantam.
Teho Ratra Vido Jana.
Tehoratra vidojanaha. Hare Krishna, Jacqueline Acevedo. Hare Krishna, Jacqueline. Sahasra, 1,000. Yuga, millenniums. Prayantam, including. A, day. Yat, that. Brahmana, of Brahma. Vidu, know it. Ratrim, night. Yuga, millenniums. Sahasrantam. Similarly, at the end of 1,000. Te, that. Aharatra, day and night. Viraha, understand. Jana, people. Translation. By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together is the duration of Brahma's one day. And such also is the duration of his night. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The duration of the material universe is limited. It is manifested in cycles of kalpas. A kalpa is a day of Brahma, and one day of Brahma consists of 1,000 cycles of 4 yugas or ages: Satya, Treta, Dvapara, and Kali. The cycle of Satya is characterized by virtue, wisdom, and religion, there being practically no ignorance and vice, and the yuga lasts 1,728,000 years. In the Treta Yuga, vice is introduced, and this yuga lasts 1,296,000 years. In the Dvapara Yuga, there is even greater decline in virtue and religion, vice increasing, and this yuga lasts 864,000 years. And finally, in Kali Yuga, the yuga we have now been experiencing over the past 5,000 years, there is an abundance of strife, ignorance, irreligion, and vice, true virtue being practically non-existent. And this yuga lasts 432,000 years. In Kali Yuga, vice increases to such a point that at the termination of the yuga, the Supreme Lord himself appears as the Kalki avatar, vanquishes the demons, saves his devotees, and commences another Satya Yuga. Then the process is set rolling again. These 4 yugas, rotating 1,000 times, comprise one day of Brahma, the Creator God, and the same number comprise one night. Brahma lives 100 of such years and then dies. These 100 years by earth calculations total to 311 trillion and 40 million earth years. By these calculations, the life of Brahma seems fantastic and interminable. But from the viewpoint of eternity, it is as brief as a lightning flash. In the causal ocean, there are innumerable Brahmas rising and disappearing like bubbles in the Atlantic. Brahma and his creation are all part of the material universe, and therefore they are in constant flux. In the material universe, not even Brahma is free from the process of birth, old age, disease, and death. Brahma, however, is directly engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord, in the management of this universe. Therefore, he at once attains liberation. Elevated sannyasis are promoted to Brahma's particular planet, Brahmaloka, which is the highest planet in the material universe and which survives all the heavenly planets in the upper strata of the planetary system. But in due course, Brahma and all inhabitants of Brahmaloka are subject to death, according to the law of material nature. Om Agyan Didinandasya Gyana Jana Shalakayam Chakshunan Manitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, has opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of spiritual knowledge. I offer my humble obeisances unto His lotus feet. Jai Srila Prabhupada. So, time is relative. Even the great scientist Albert Einstein, he came up with this theory of relativity. So here we see how the time is relative. For us, 311 trillion and 40 million years is the lifespan of Brahma. For him, it lasts 100 years. So for him, it feels like 100 years. For us, it is 311 trillion 40 million years. Prabhupada says it is fantastic and interminable. We cannot even conceive of such a long duration of time. We live 180, maybe 80, 90, 100 years at most. So 311 trillion, that is beyond our conception. So time is relative to the body that we have. Lord Brahma has a different body that we have. And similarly, let's say a small ant also has a different body. And he lives maybe for a few days, then he dies very fast. There are these little insects. They're born in the morning and they die in the evening. They only live for one day. But for them, that one day feels like 100 years. I remember when I was a child, the time was passing so slowly. Very slowly. I remember when I was lying in the basket as a baby. A very, very slight remembrance of that. Not very clear. Not very lucid, but a little impression was there. I was lying in a basket and waiting. I have this memory that there was a long duration of time and I could not do anything. Just waiting, waiting, and waiting, and waiting. Just look at the babies. They're just lying down, they're sleeping, they do nothing, right? The babies that are just born, right? They just cry and they lie down and they cannot walk even. So they're waiting until the mom comes, gives food, and that's it. So the time was passing very slowly. In school also, very slowly. I remember the school year, it was so long. Until the holidays, very, very long. I was always watching the clock. When is the end of the lesson? And I was even dividing, okay? Only 5 minutes left, only 3 minutes left. And playing, mental games with counting, like that. So, time was very slow. Because I had a small body. Different body. Different conception of reality. See, I am the same. The soul is the same. But the way how we perceive the world is different. So now, because I have a different body, time is passing very fast. I've arranged my life in a way that I enjoy. No one is bullying me. I don't have to tolerate any. I'm now giving lessons. Someone may be watching. When is he going to be finished? Now I am the teacher. Someone has to tolerate my talking. So the time is passing very, very fast. Even they say the time passes fast when you're having fun. So the same applies to these fantastic descriptions of the time periods and the duration of lifetime, the demigods also. The Lord Brahma is on the topmost planet of the universe. In the morning I was explaining those who were attending the class that the universe is called Anda. Anda means egg. So the universe is created in the form of an egg. Very narrow on the top, very wide at the bottom. So, because it's so narrow, that is Lord Brahma's abode. Not everyone can go there. Only very selected human beings can be elevated to the Brahmaloka planet. Here Prabhupada mentions that elevated sannyasis are promoted to Brahma's particular planet, Brahmaloka, which is the highest planet in the material universe. So this ashram sannyas has such value that simply by following this ashram one gets elevated to the topmost planet of the universe, Brahmaloka. This is not the spiritual world, but it is almost the spiritual world, because Lord Brahma, at a time of devastation, complete devastation, there are two types of devastation, partial and complete. So when Lord Brahma goes to bed, then the universe is partially destroyed. Partially means that the water comes and floods everything. Everything is submerged in water. So when Lord Brahma wakes up, then the water dissipates, and again there's another creation. But when Lord Brahma leaves his body, when he departs after 100 years of his lifespan, then the universe is completely burned to ashes. It is completely destroyed. And Lord Brahma, with his associates, with the associates of Brahma Loka, these former sannyasis and other greatly elevated souls, they all go back home, back to Godhead, back to Krishna. It is their last birth. So it is a very, very elevated platform. There is a little bit of impurity, although Lord Brahma is a pure devotee, but those who reside in Brahmaloka, they have a little impurity. There's a little bit of impurity. That's why they cannot go to the spiritual world. But it is very insignificant. And when they purify, then they go and they're liberated. So this ashram, sannyas ashram, according to the Varnashram program, one is trained first of all as a brahmachari, as a celibate student. Nowadays there is no celibate student. Everybody has a girlfriend, there's sex indulgence. But in Vedic times, the boys were preserved. Now the boys are wasted to sex life. They become victims of sex enjoyment. So in Vedic times, the society would be very kind to the boys and would protect them as precious jewels. This celibacy is such a precious gift if one can practice celibacy. So he is trained in the brahmacharya very nicely. Brahmachari is not having any bank account. No bank account, no opulence. Simply serving in the ashram of the Guru. The Guru says, now you eat. So he eating prasadam. If the Guru forgets to call him for prasadam, he fasts. He's not complaining, Guru, where's the food? I'm hungry. No. Sense control. He must learn a sense control. It is all connected. Tongue, belly, genital. There's a straight line that goes through the body. If one can control his tongue, he'll be able to control his belly. The belly wants always to be filled up with nice prasadam. So we must control the tongue so the belly is not filled with prasadam. It is filled whatever is necessary, but not overboard. Don't go overboard, overeating. That is bad for health and is bad for celibacy. Because the belly is pushing on the genital, and there's a pressure and there's agitation. So, everything very scientific. People don't understand. Oh, why should I? They would complain. Oh, this is torture. Oh, this is a cult. Little boys are serving and he's not giving them food. Oh, let's call police. You must immediately call police on some Vedic guru and shut this down and feed the boys as much as possible. Give them chocolate. Take chocolate, my little boy. Go and play with, PlayStation. Yes, this is the reason why the boys are so messed up. Because we don't know how to preserve the boys. We don't know how to give them what they need. The boys, they need to practice austerity. Prabhupada says that the little boys, they enjoy austerity so much. You give him shoes, go and sort up my shoes. He's very happy. They're running. They take it as great fun, Prabhupada says. The boys take tapasya as great fun. This is a natural propensity of a male, to be chivalrous, to set goals, to overcome obstacles, to maybe sometimes even overcome dangerous situations or even seek dangerous situations, be daring. This is natural. Why that should be suppressed? People think the opposite way. They go, why are you suppressing the sexual freedom? Everybody should be free. You're suppressing. No. We're not suppressing. You are suppressing. You're suppressing the natural propensity of man. And man also has the propensity to be independent. Independent. Free. Woman does not have that propensity to be independent. Woman is always seeking protection. If it's not the boyfriend, then it's the father. If it's not the father, it's the son. Like that. It's natural. We're suppressing natural instincts in woman and man. So the brahmachari is trained very nicely. And of course the guru is not simply telling him to serve, but he's teaching them the Vedic scriptures. He's teaching them the meaning of human life as a whole. The aim of human life is to understand Krishna and to realize, I am not this body. I am eternal soul. My relationship with Krishna, I should engage in His service. So if the brahmachari cannot assimilate, there is one thing called jnana that we theoretically learn like in school. But then there's another thing that is called vijnana, realization, assimilation. So if the brahmachari is hearing, but he cannot assimilate, then he is allowed to marry. And then he continues his spiritual practice and education, but in a different form, as a householder. And he is allowed to have sense gratification under license also. Under license, not unrestricted. So then, after he passes through the Grihastha ashram, that is not so easy, Grihastha ashram. If you cannot learn by hearing from the spiritual master, you have to learn by experience. Second class intelligence, it's called. So the aim of this Grihastha ashram is to expose you to the reality of material existence, suffering. This is the success of the Grihastha ashram, householder ashram. If you understand, oh, it is so suffering. It is so horrible. I am suffering so much. I have to deal with my wife. I have to take care of the children. I have to work. Oh, this is horrible. Horrible existence. If he has this realization, then he's a successful householder. We think also in a twisted way. We think, oh, if the man is very happy and they enjoy fabulous sex life and they have lots of opulence and children, they go on holidays and they spend lots of money with you, oh, he's very happy. But from the Vedic point of view, this is very unsuccessful grihastha. Because he's so much in Maya, and after he leaves his body, he will go to hell. Because he was simply gratifying his senses. Krishna says in the Bhagavad-Gita, the one who lives simply for sense gratification lives in vain. Very strong words Krishna is using. If you live for sense gratification, simply eating, sleeping, sex, fighting, your life is useless. You're committing suicide by that lifestyle because you have a great opportunity to liberate yourself from the cycle of birth. People don't even understand, they don't believe. They think, YOLO, you only live once, that's it. They have no concept of transmigration. We're in a big cycle. This is not the only life. We're dealing with certain samskaras for many, many lifetimes. We're getting an opportunity. Learn this lesson. We don't want to learn that lesson. For many, many lifetimes. The karmic reaction is coming. We're not able to overcome it. So human life is great responsibility. People are wasting. So if the Grihastha has this realization, oh, it is horrible, then he's ready for the Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha ashram is the preparation for this sannyas ashram. So the householder, he stops working, no more working. Working agitates the mind. If you work for the fruitive results, devotee is also working, that is different. But if you work for the fruitive results, that agitates the mind so much. Because if you work for the fruit, then you think you are the doer. If you take the fruit of your labor, if you enjoy, you work and then you enjoy the result, you develop this mentality, I am the doer. I am the doer, I am the controller. Exactly what we don't want to cultivate. This mentality is the cause of all problems for us. This makes us unhappy because you are not the doer, you're not the controller, you're not director, you are nothing. You're simply a servant. This is illusion. That I'm doing this, I'm that, I'm controlling things. You're not controlling anything. You think you're controlling. But as soon as death comes, knocks on the door, you're finished. All your controlship is finished. There were so many big dictators, Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini, Napoleon, all of them. So they thought, I'm the master of the whole world. Right? Hitler was taking over all Europe. So unprecedented. Napoleon also. But when death came, they were kicked out from that situation. Death said, are you the controller now? No. Here's a hog's body. Here's a dog's body. Here's a lion body. So many bodies. And all your controlship. What is your controlship? Simply illusion. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ankara vimudatma kartam iti manyate. Krishna says that the spirit soul, he thinks that he is the doer. But in actuality, all his actions are controlled by the modes of material nature. All the activities, mode of passion, mode of goodness, mode of ignorance, we're controlled. Always under control. So real freedom means I should be controlled by Krishna, not by Maya. I am not the controller, I am being controlled. So let me become controlled by Krishna. How do we do that? Follow his instructions. Follow the instructions of Krishna, you will be controlled by Krishna. That is very nice. Just like when a responsible husband is controlling the wife. That is very nice. If the husband is very qualified, very nice, and he knows what is good for the wife, if he controls such a wife, the wife feels great pleasure. Similarly, if a parent controls a child, that is very good. Responsible parent, he knows how to control the child very nicely for his benefit. Similarly, if you become controlled by the best authority, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, you will feel very good. So all you have to do is follow his instructions. That is how we become controlled by Krishna. Krishna says something, you do it, then you become under Krishna's control. It is not something esoteric. And now you feel some voice within, and then, that voice tells you, go and take 20 ladus from the kitchen. It is not like that. Right here, Krishna says, surrender to me. Give up simple activities. Don't think you are the doer. Continue your duty, but do it for me. So many instructions he gives. So if you follow these instructions, you come under the influence of Krishna. You become controlled by Krishna. That is good for you. That is very, very good. Because Krishna knows how to control you. You cannot even control yourself. You don't know how to control yourself. You cannot even control your mind. The devotees have this experience, chanting japa, Hare Krishna, the mind is going on holiday to Hawaii, sipping. While the mouth is chanting, the mind is somewhere else. Like, I don't know if you drive a car, you don't have a driving license. But anyway, sometimes, the driver is driving and then he stops the car and he lets the engine continue. And he goes out of the car and he buys cigarettes or something and he comes back. So sometimes we have this sort of japa. Just we'll let the engine, let the mouth go, Hare Krishna, and then we leave, with our mind, we go somewhere, and then we come back when the rounds are done. So we should do mindful japa. We should pay attention to the sounds of the Maha Mantra. And we must pronounce all the words. If we eat the words, Hare Krishna, then we cannot focus on the sound vibration, right? You cannot focus if the mantra is not there. How can you focus if there's nothing to focus on? So all the words must be there in the beginning. We should pay attention to the words, not necessarily how many rounds you're chanting. Better you chant 16 rounds nicely than 32 rounds butchered mantras. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Even Srila Prabhupada, he makes this sound by doing, giving his class or in some conversation. Prabhupada makes a funny sound like this, imitating devotees who like to eat the Maha Mantra. They should be given some prasadam, so they're satisfied, so they don't have to eat the Maha Mantra. Yes, so anyway, sannyasi ultimately renounces the wife and he fully engages in devotional service. So Prabhupada, he says that devotees in this Krishna consciousness movement, they have transcended this varnashram system. They're all sannyasis, because even the grihastas, they're fully engaged in Krishna's service. Just like our grihastas. They're not accumulating property and this and that. They're preaching full time. Waking up early, just like brahmachari. They're very renounced. Those who say that, they're very frivolous and this and that, they're fools, rascals. What is that frivolous? Rising early at 3 o'clock, worshipping the deity, going through all the programs. Mo Prabhu was here also, he can tell you, if you don't believe me. It is not so easy. And then after taking morning prasadam, after all the programs are done, you have to go and distribute books or do other services. There is no break, there is no chilling. Up until 10 o'clock, sometimes devotees are washing the kitchen and preaching to the devotees, preaching to you, asking you, please help us. Hard work, very hard work. So Prabhupada says they're as good as sannyasis. So even if a devotee does not become perfect, even if it might have some little impurity, might have some motivation, because he's engaged 24 hours, that is his greatest virtue. And he might be elevated to this planet of Lord Brahma. and then go back home, back to Godhead. So always remain engaged in Krishna consciousness. Understand the futility of this material enjoyment. There is no enjoyment. Even all these grihastas who are very successful and enjoying and so on. You only see the one side of the coins. But the other side is very dark. The wife dies, the husband dies, the children sometimes die. My father died before my grandpa. So I was calling my grandpa that your son is dead. Me, grandson, was calling the grandpa that your son is dead. It happens. Kali Yuga, everything is twisted. People are so sinful, so much karma is going on. Disbalance, lots of disbalance. So don't be attached to this enjoyment in the material world. We don't neglect the material sides. Don't try to make this argument, oh, you're neglecting. No, we're not neglecting. We eating nicely. Prasadam is very nice. There's prasadam always. We sleeping also. Also there's husband and wife relationship, everything. But that is not the number one priority. It should never be the number one priority. If it's a number one priority for you, you're not a devotee. You might be a friend of Krishna. You might be favorable, you might be pious, but you're not a devotee. Devotee might take Krishna as a number one priority. Always Krishna. First of all Krishna, then everything else. Krishna is the roots. If you water the roots, all the branches and leaves will be nourished. And if you forget the roots, you can take care of your material side. Ultimately, there's going to be death, there's going to be birth, there's going to be old age, and there's going to be disease. So, try to understand this reality of material existence. You will never hear this from anywhere. You never hear this in school. I never heard this in school. Material existence is horrible. It's a horrible world. It's a horrible existence. Your body is a lump of ignorance. You're not this body. We never hear such things. There are these so-called psychologists who say that, oh, we must love the body. They say, what is that? Self-love. You must practice self-love. You must love yourself and this and that. So this is all illusion. This is not going to solve your problem. Krishna consciousness is going to solve your problem. Birth, death, old age and disease. We have to always keep this in focus. This is the greatest inspiration to become serious in Krishna consciousness. We're not serious enough. Always, I'm getting always these questions. How do I become more serious? I'm not serious. I have this attachment, this bad habit, this, that. I'm not serious. I'm not sincere. Although I know I should do it, I'm not doing it. Always devotees are asking me this question. So this is an open secret. Meditate on birth, death, old age and disease. Meditate on these four realities. Meditate on your own death. There's going to be a time when you die. Meditate on this moment. Meditate on it. Are you ready? Are you ready to die? If you're not ready to die, then you must chant more attentively. The devotee is always ready to die because for him, there is no difference. He's serving Krishna here and he will serve Krishna in the spiritual worlds. Krishna is always there. For him, there is no death. This is how you transcend death. Alright, so any questions? We're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So if you're watching on any of these platforms, I'm going to check and you can ask a question and I will answer.
Hare Krishna, we have a question.
Hare Krishna.
Can I ask now or do we wait?
Yeah, you can ask now, yeah.
Yeah, how to prepare for the moment of death. How to make sure that we're gonna think of Krishna.
Well, that we were discussing previously. Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tyajyat dayante kalevaram tam tame bhayati kaunteya sada tad bhava papita. Whatever you think at the time of death, that you shall become. So the thought at the time of death is very important. And that thought is the combination of all your thoughts throughout your whole lifetime. So it is not that you're going to be a big hero, that at the last moment somehow or other. No, don't do this. Risky. You must cultivate. Krishna consciousness must be cultivated. There must be regulation. You must chant 16 rounds. You must follow the regulative principles. You must hear regularly Bhagavad-Gita. It is tapasya to hear. It's not so easy. Because always Krishna, 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 Krishna. We've been trained, our mind has been trained to always seek sense gratification, something nice and pleasant. Right? So the brain is trained like that, always seek nice things. So here, when you read Prabhupada's books, it's all just Krishna's pleasure, Krishna's enjoyment. Serve Krishna. Krishna enjoys and you get nothing. This is pure devotional service. You get nothing. Krishna gets everything. He enjoys with young girls. You get nothing. You must practice celibacy. That's why we don't like to hear this message. But if we understand our position, if we understand the nature of this, if we understand actually, this is good for me. Because serving Krishna, I am his parts and parcel. If I serve Krishna, I also gonna be pleased. If I understand like this scientifically, at least theoretically, then I will have the strength to go through the tapasya. See, everything is tapasya in Krishna consciousness. Chanting 16 rounds is tapasya. Right? You all have the experience. First you start 1 round, 2 rounds, and then 16 rounds. Oh my God, 2 hours. You have to take out of your schedule 2 hours and chant. The phone is ringing. Hey, are you there? Hey, come on. Hey. Well, you have to chant. So many ideas you have. Prasadam is waiting there that you cooked. He's luring you, please come. But you have to chant. So there's great tapasya. 4 regulative principles. Oh my God. I was very fond of marijuana, as many devotees in their previous lives. So I was thinking I can never give this up. When I read Srila Prabhupada was not approving of intoxication, I was lamenting. Oh. I said, this I cannot, I am sorry. I am sorry, Krishna. I follow everything, but this one thing, you have to leave me. You have to keep this for me. My girlfriend, Mrs. Marijuana. I could not do this. So, it was a tapasya. I had to do it. Tapasya. No, this is nonsense. By hearing, first of all, you must understand the importance of hearing. Because I don't want it. It is required, but my desire is different. So, therefore, let me hear more about the necessity of renouncing that bad habit. Let me hear, although I don't like it, but let me hear. Let me open my mind to the idea that I should give it up. This is the beginning. Let me be willing. So many tests are there. It's not so easy to become a devotee. You have to go through so many tests, so much tapasya, right? And then you have to keep it up. You renounce all these things, that you get initiated, just like our Bhakta Charlie gets initiated. And then after 1, 2 years, 3 years, you feel, I would like that marijuana again. Maya comes again, you have some quarrel with the devotees, or Something happens, so many things happen in Krishna consciousness. It is also not guaranteed that you're going to be happy all the time, materially, everything first class. So then you might have a weak moment. Oh, what can I do? It's Kali Yuga. Oh, I am so fallen. I am not sincere. I am not a devotee. Purujit said I am not a devotee in the class. Oh, let me smoke. Yeah, that happens. So many devotees fell down. So, your original question was how to be sincere, or
How to be sincere, ultimately, how to think of Krishna at the time of that.
how to think of Krishna. So you have to do all of these things to think of Krishna. You have to fight. People think it's easy. Oh, you're just chanting, and no, it's very difficult. Very difficult. This non-devotional life, that is easy. You just say, Maya, take me, and then you're just like floating like a nonsense. You just do whatever the senses tells you, that's easy. But to say, no, I want to be myself, I want to control my senses. This is, Prabhupada says, big declaration of war to Maya. Yes. So, like that. Any other question?
If there's no question, can I ask another question?
Yeah.
How to, because in this modern generation, is even Vishnu Maharaj says that it's very wishy-washy, especially the man.
Yeah.
So you're not trained to be really determined and to fight and control the senses and fight the mind. So how to get that perseverance, that
you must hear from the Acharya, from Prabhupada. Prabhupada is the real Acharya. He is the initiator, Acharya. You might get initiated by this guru or that guru, but Prabhupada is the initiator, guru. He's initiating us through transcendental knowledge. That is the real initiation. So Prabhupada, if we hear from Prabhupada, he will infect us with the Krishna virus. That's how it works. See, you're not sick, but if someone contaminated comes and he coughs or something, you can catch the disease. Right? So in the beginning you were not sick, but by association you get contaminated. So in the same way, you get contaminated by the desire to serve Krishna from a contaminated, liberated, pure soul. He's contaminated by the Krishna virus fully. That's why we do these classes, to associate, to expose the mind. Prabhupada even says, even if you do not understand, just somehow or other throw your body in that class and open your ears, try to hear. I remember, when I joined the temple, the first day, I was at the Bhagavatam class. And when the class was over, I woke up on the floor.
My head was here.
I could not hear, I was sleeping. So, but I knew, this is not good. I must try. And it was, the next day I did the same thing. The next day the same, I could not hear. Then my godbrother, he said, go and, wash the dishes. So I was washing the dishes, and then somehow I was hearing, because I was washing dishes, somehow I could not sleep, so I was hearing like that. I could not hear like this sitting, it was impossible for me. I could not hear. So it took so many years. Now I can hear, by Krishna's mercy, for maybe 30 minutes, then maybe also I sleep. So it's a great struggle. Yeah. So by hearing, the Acharya will act. Leave it up to the Acharya, Prabhupada. Leave it up to him. He will inspire you. But you must do that. You must hear. If you hear some other nonsense, so many rascals, you hear from them, then there is no chance. So long you're hearing, you're on a good path. You're on a good path. So long you're hearing. This is the process of hearing. Although we say chant Hare Krishna, actually it's hear Hare Krishna. Hear Hare Krishna. If you hear Hare Krishna, you will chant Hare Krishna nicely. See, we say chant 16 rounds, but actually you should hear 16 rounds. Have you done your hearing? Did you hear your 16 rounds?
Right.
No, I chanted 16, but I did not hear. So it's useless. Yeah. All right. Enough. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad-Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari 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 Bo.
Namo Mr. Paraya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutari Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Brahmacharina Nirvishesha Shunnavari Paschartarishtharini.
Thank you for watching, dear devotees, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.